Summer breeze, summer love. It's all about the summer, ladies and gentlemen. We've been sold a summer dream, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. After the disappointing January window, take it how you may be. There are certain fans that are saying we could have done something to strengthen in certain areas, most notably the left back, left wing back position. But there are other fans who are saying that maybe it's not worthwhile looking into any average type of players and, probably focusing in the summer to see if we can address not just that position, but many other positions. So it is what it is, different perspectives, different perceptions. And the focus now is for the summer. But before that, it needs to be said, there's some articles that's been dropped and there's some inkling that perhaps Thomas Tuchel was a little bit frustrated in the January window that we didn't at least help him out in the left back side. But it is what it is. We move. It is another Chelsea news blitz, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to do a lot with the summer situation. There's a lot of talks, many athletic, articles in regards to this from Simon Johnson and so on and so forth. Matt Law as well, putting articles wherever he writes. I think the Telegraph or whatever the case is, the Guardian, many places where he, puts out his work. Let's start having a look at the situation over the last 24 hours in terms of Chelsea news. It's understood that Tuchel didn't push for new signings. Tuchel and Chelsea priority is the summer recruitment drive. It's also understood that at least 3 attacking players are unhappy and considering their future at Chelsea via Simon Johnson, the Athletic. Now, as you can see, look, I get the feeling Thomas Tuchel, he doesn't want to irritate the board. I think past experience might have sort of told him that when he's done that, he has not been around in the job. And I think history also says whenever Chelsea managers have done that, they have not lasted long. So maybe it's time to work with them and at the same time sweetly tell them what the issues are. And I guess staying patient, that's the number one key. I just hope Thomas Tuchel is still around for the summer. I pray that he's still around for the summer. If there's any sort of negative results that conjure up over the months of February and March and so on and so forth, he'll be under pressure. And let's be honest, our current team, we've not improved it in January. We've stayed status quo. And we've got genuine issues, especially in the wing-back positions. Albeit Reece James coming back, we still have genuine issues on the left side. And the rivals have strengthened. There are rivals that have strengthened. Liverpool got Luis Diaz. They're 2 games behind us, and they've got points ahead. I think a point ahead of us. Newcastle have strengthened. Everton has strengthened. So we'll see. It's not going to get any easier. If it wasn't already easy, it's not going to get any easier. In fact, it probably just got harder. So I just hope Thomas Tuchel can stick around. I know he wants to stick around. I just hope the board, with all this focus now for the summer, hopefully they still have Thomas Tuchel penciled down as the manager. Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel's priority in the summer recruitment drive, their list of targets for that window includes Jules Koundé, Declan Rice, and Aurelien Tchouameni. And so it's not Declan Rice or Aurelien Tchouameni. Look, I would love that. As a Chelsea fan, I would absolutely love that because one, Tchouameni, I think, can do what Jorginho does as a regista. Declan Rice would be a different type of a defensive midfielder, but then again, he's more of a box-to-box these days, playing as an 8. But as Mark Noble said, if you guys have missed out on my latest video, the reaction video, please check it out. Comments by Mark Noble in regards to Declan Rice in Rio Ferdinand's channel. Declan Rice is not penciled down to be a number 4 or do you know what I mean? Like he's not a number 6, number 8, number 4, whatever you want to call it. He's a mixture. You can utilize him in many different areas. So look, the listings are Jules Koundé, Declan Rice, and Aurelien Tchouameni. I would love it. I would seriously love it. We should not be screwing up the Kunde situation because Christensen is most likely gone, Aspilicueta is most likely gone as well. So we should really think about getting that done. Thomas Tuchel was left frustrated by the failure to cover Chelsea's injury crisis during the January window, but the focus now be on the summer, and he expects to have a degree of control over the plans with key areas of address already identified. This is good to hear. This is coming from James Robson, who is, let's have a quick look at this, football writer for the Standard. DMs open. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he seems like a very legitimate journalist. But the focus will now be on the summer, and he expects to have a degree of control over the plans with key areas of address already identified. So, look, we keep talking about Thomas Tuchel should be getting his top of players. If he's going to get his top of players, then he needs to have a set. He needs to have control. Had we had like a proper director of football that understands, I think before we get into any of these, transfer window plans or speculations, whatever the case is in summer, we do need to understand, and Thomas Tuchel needs to sit down with the board, with the current sporting director, which is Peter Cech. I feel like we do need a proper director of football that understands, has a lot more experience basically than Peter Cech. But then again, Peter Cech could be gaining that experience meanwhile. But I think it's important for Thomas Tuchel to sit down and explain how he wants to play next season and what his philosophy is, because there's no point in not knowing that first and then jumping into the transfer window and just buying a whole heap of players. The players need to fit your long-term plan as to how you want to play. It's very, very important. And from there, you can start identifying who needs to come in. That's where scouts kick in. We don't have the greatest scouts, so we need to start with the basics first. Thomas Tuchel expects to have a degree of control in the summer transfer window. A fresh move for Jules Koundé is planned, and he wants to strengthen the midfield. Interest remains in Erling Haaland, and Ousmane Dembele has been monitored. Look, I don't know how we get Erling Haaland. How are we meant to? I mean, I know his buyout clause is what, 75 million euros or something or other in that vicinity. Much cheaper than last season, obviously. I would love it, but are we expecting Lukaku and Erling Haaland in the same team? That sounds pretty mad to me. I can't imagine that. One would have to go. And if we want to get rid of Lukaku, we are going to have to take a massive financial hit. We're not going to get anywhere near what we got him for. His stocks are low at the moment after what he did and the performances post that. Ousmane Dembele, look, he'll be on a free at the end of this season. And it seems like Thomas Tuchel really wants him. As much as I don't like this situation because of the history of the players, injuries, it's not like his production has been high either. But if Thomas Tuchel, we have to believe in Thomas Tuchel. He sees something in him. He worked with him. He's direct. I don't know how he would actually fit in the Premier League. I'm just worried that he'll get injured. But Koundé is planned, as we've already talked about, strengthening the midfield, Tchouaméni and Declan Rice. I think there will be a shake-up. N'Golo Kante being injured on a regular basis. Kovacic picks up those odd injuries. And Jorginho is someone I feel we do need to start thinking about transitioning away. Think about the future. He's done magnificently for us, and I thank him for that. He's done brilliantly. But he's now 30 or turning 30. And there are deficiencies in his game if we want to evolve from that scenario. So I've got no issues with this one bit. West Ham are braced for summer bids for Declan Rice. They've claimed he is valued at 100 million, but are likely to consider bids that fall just short of that mark. Chelsea and United avoided spending in January to prepare for the summer market. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, we've been now sold this summer market. I need to, look, I don't want to sit here and bash the board. I think we've all done that a little bit. I want to see what they actually do. because they've got a hell of a job ahead of them. They really do. And not just players in, they need to be able to get players out. We've got a lot of players that don't fit in, that are not wanted by the club. We have to get rid of them. We need to open up space, open up the wages. We've got to get rid of those players, number one. Unhappy players, moaning players need to go as well. And then we need to bring in players. So this summer is going to be huge. And I don't know if our board is capable, our scouts are capable of producing all of this stuff in one window. I don't see them being proactive, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. So it's a big window ahead. And honestly, if I'm talking about Declan Rice now, as I said, please check out my latest video as well on my reaction on Mark Noble's comments on Declan Rice. We seriously need to think about this particular player. We do. And he's Premier League proven. A lot of fans, and even myself at times, we sort of sit down and think, oh, we don't want Declan Rice, for X, Y, Z reasons. But at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, we may have an opinion on Declan Rice. We may have an opinion on his price tag. Wherever Declan Rice goes, that club is only going to get stronger. That's the bottom line. That is the bottom line. Declan Rice doesn't make any club weaker. He makes them stronger. So it's something we need to think about. West Ham face a battle to hang on to Declan Rice after the club's inactivity in the January transfer window encouraged his suitors that the midfielder could be prized away this summer. Rice is target of Man City, United and Chelsea. Declan Rice going to City, United, I'm telling you right now, they'll get even stronger. He is a robust, strong, physical player. Ask any current players, ex-players, the way they talk about him in training, the way they talk about his leadership, the way they talk about how he's still developing into a monster, he's a very good player. Yes, the price is an issue, but is it worth it perhaps? Is it worth it to have one supreme player in midfield, which could have a domino effect for the rest of the team where it opens up the rest of the team to play better? Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea will push to sign Jules Koundé next summer, whether they lose any of their defenders or not. And there is a growing confidence at Stamford Bridge that 42 million bid could be enough to bring the Sevilla star in. This is a no-brainer at the moment. He's got a lot of quality, a lot of attributes that are so beneficial to how Thomas Tuchel wants to build up from the back. Technical ability, ball control, ball playing defender. At 42 million is fantastic. Fantastic. You're touted to be somewhere around 60 million. If we can get him, this should be done in the first weeks of the summer window, really. There should be no hesitations anymore with this particular business. If we screw this up, well, you know how that summer dream is going to end up. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea back in training today. No Mendy in AFCON. Thiago or Pulisic, international duty. It's good to see the players back. Hopefully they're all refreshed. They had a nice holiday. I saw a lot of pictures on Instagram, Facebook as well. Many traveling overseas. And hopefully they had a very good break. I think you could see. And now it's understandable when Thomas Tuchel said post-Brighton match that fatigue kicked in. And it was very clear to see the 2-day break. The way we turned up against Spurs. I hope these players are now fully charged. And the month of February, we've got Club World Cup, Carabao Cup final. And then we've got March, April, May. We've got bumper right till the end of the season. And hopefully these players are now ready to rock and roll. Good to see the players back. Honestly, really, really good to see the players back. Hopefully I'll catch some of them in Club World Cup. Out in the streets walking about and whatnot. Obviously, I'll see them in the stadium, but it'd be great to bump onto them in the streets if I can. Last but not least, this is the last news, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea will listen to offers for both Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley this summer. I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, these two players especially Ross Barkley. He needs to go. I don't know how many more seasons left in his contract. Could be the end. Let's have a quick look. Ross Barkley. May have one more season, perhaps. Let's have a quick gaze at this. Ruben Loftus-Cheek has a couple of seasons. I know that. He signed a 5-year contract in Frank Lampard's first season. Let's have a look. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We barely use him. We barely use him. It's time. The fact that he still hasn't gone in January. Yeah, June 30th, 2023. So after this season, there'll be one more season. I feel, ladies and gentlemen, it's a no-brainer. He needs to go, and we probably do need to look at the Ruben Loftus-Cheek situation. If we end up getting Tchouameni, Declan Rice, plus we already have Kante, Kovacic, and Jorginho, possibly Chalobah could be used in midfield as well if we go forward at the back. I can't see how we fit in Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So it's better to cash in on him and wish him the best of luck in his next club, to be honest. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you thought about this Chelsea News Blitz. A lot of talk about Declan Rice, a lot of talk about the summer window. Do you feel confident with the board that we can pull off this summer window? Lots of deals need to be done, whether it's players coming in, players going out. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about Declan Rice, Tchouameni, Jules Koundé. How you feel about that? Would love to know. Comment below. If you've enjoyed this video, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.